The submerged aqueducts. I remember reading about them in the silver records. There used to be an underground waterway leading to the plains. But now, with the old district completely flooded, we can only access it if we drain the water first.
So we have to drain the water from the city before we can go to the submerged aqueducts? Yeah, sure, because I like water on top of my water.
After my role was erased, Cartathea must have found the half-human, half-sea creature, and the Fraxidus. Like the warrior, she chose to remain on the closing of that page, to give new stories a fighting chance. That's why I only regained my name after I met the warrior. During our journey, the overlapping worlds the warriors saw were the monster's doing. It tried to use Mia to steal my role again, to corrupt Septimonts once more. Only I can erase it from this story. Only I can prove that I'm real and it is fake. What happened to the Mia who vanished in the Veil of Glory decades ago? After everything you went through, what did the city of Septimont mean to you? I remember the entrance to the underground waterway is in the old district's bell tower.
So we need to go up into a bell tower to go down into a underground water. Whatever, give me a marker on the map.
Of course. The upkeep of these waters always falls under the Silver's jurisdiction. Maybe I can awaken the sleeping giant of glory. In Septimontian tradition, when it bears its blade and watches over the warriors leaving for the hunt, all gates and passages open. Many of the old routes are blocked, but I can try draining the water through the remaining ones. It's worth a try.
Better plan. Okay, quite a lot going on there.
Covered in tidal blight. It has even fused into the joints. I'll need to clear this if I want to get it moving. To protect these waters, the stewards must have set up a platform with gladiator spears nearby. I'll activate the patrol unit, then grab a spear from the platform to clear out this blight.
Yeah, okay. Anybody else following this story? I mean, I understand what's going on for the most part. Just not what is technically in the past or what is technically in a separate story, which I'm not sure if that's what an interesting animation. I'm not sure if that's in a separate universe or a separate, I guess reconstruction of the story is probably a fair way to put it, since we're not 100% sure how real anything is in this world. We're all, you know what? It's super intriguing. It's super interesting. And I am surprisingly, I don't know, swept up in the story. It's very, very cool. So let's continue it. Septimont Patrol Unit. May applause greet you. Lupa from House Silva. I still like that. May applause greet you. That is a surprisingly cool way to say, hi, hello, how are you? Sort of thing. Please wait. Retrieving gladiator spear. Happy hunting. That is a very cool spear. Throw it like a javelin. Yeah, fuck that tidal blight.
Can't just clear the head. To get it to lift its sword and open the gates, I need to clear the arms too.
Detecting unidentified tacit Discord signatures within the something something.
With me! Lackluster. I'll end you.
She is super fun to play as. Okay, more of huh?
The fight is on! Time to fight! Into the spotlight!
Alert, unidentified tacit Discord something. Thank you for your efforts in maintaining safety of the city. May the burning something. Nope. Okay, another spear. That is both badass and hilarious. Huh. Those physics were unique.
Need to check for more patrol units nearby.
Not sure how well the engine handles crumbling architecture like that. May applause greet you, Contender Lupa. Detected. Current location outside platform range. High risk of tacit Discord threat. Maintain vigilance at all time. Okay. Following little guy. Another spear. That's yeah, spear. Hey, fuck you. You just hit my little guy. Douche. Good. Okay, he's good. I wasn't expecting something to just pop out of the water and attack him. That was...
I hear cowering prey.
Oh, there he is. You guys are annoying. And I can't switch characters. So, hopefully I can beat you before you get stunned. Otherwise that could be annoying. Oh god, this crap.
The fight is on!
Dead.
Time to fight! Together we howl! With me!
Your assistance is much appreciated, Contender Lupa. Happy hunting. May you be showered with victory. Thanks, little guy. I haven't done Lupa's thing yet, so I'm not entirely sure what that little eyes in the corner is. I'm assuming it has something to do with her ultimate. Take the gladiator spear. Okay, that was neat and all, but if they had giant robots, giant statues like that, shouldn't they have been fighting the Tacit Discords or the Thermodian or literally anything?
The water is drained. Time to head to the bell tower. That monster is hiding in the depths of the aqueducts.
Well, was able to drain this area. That's great. Actually, interestingly, this Threnodian didn't really want to fight anybody. It wanted to manipulate and control. Maybe that's why there were too many strong warriors that couldn't,
Winds of the wild.
beat them down. It had to actually figure out a better way of getting control. I mean, if you have a literal warrior culture and the culture just sort of didn't beat the shit out of it, it would seem odd. But existed at all. That would help. Ah, it's a elevator. I thought it was just a change in the flooring. I didn't realize. Okay. I wonder if we know why her tail is brown and her hair is red. Dyed hair or something else going on there.
Just this gate standing between me and the heart of the aqueducts. It won't open. I'll have to find another route. Huh? Huh. The copper mirror is calling. The warrior used it to see the past. I wonder if there's anything of that here.
Okay.
I've already pulled that body from the sea.
Okay. Little corpse moving.
Domina Julia. Keeping one's word is the foundation of any solid partnership. I know. Septimonte's current effort doesn't quite heed the Senate's wishes, but we'll see to that. A cup of poisoned wine, a passing fly, a dagger. Fate strikes where least expected.
No, poison is murder. A passing fly? It's just something that happens, I guess. And a dagger. Fate, huh?
With someone as clever and calculated as you at the helm, the House of Silver need not fear for its survival.
I do not work with you for our sake. I do this for Septimont.
Bullshit.
Some of us have forgotten the terror of life adrift at sea. To survive the tide, one must make the right choices.
So you're just scared.
We'll speak of other matters later. But tell me, why would you want a dead woman who fell into the sea?
Organ harvesting? A freak? I don't know.
Dead woman? Ah, you mean Mia? Indeed, she is the very heart of the unit I spoke of. The one we intend to build deep within these underground aqueducts. Alive or dead, her body holds the information we need. The Fraxidus's experiments here will continue for some time. In the meantime, covering up this little laboratory's existence will require your assistance, madam.
The heart? That weakling's resonance abilities were meager at best. Her performance in the arena was nothing special.
Okay, shut up, first of all. And I'm assuming it has to do with the fact that the Threnodian was corrupting her? Maybe something of that nature. Also, you're going to be building some sort of machine with her as the core? That's not messed up at all.
If it weren't for those incompetent fools in the Senate using her as a puppet to shift the attention and anger of the masses, she wouldn't even have made it to the finals.
Huh, so a rigged match, I guess, or competition. Alright.
Do not be upset, my dear Domina. You are absolutely right. The girl is so feeble she can't resist her creator's will in the slightest. Winning the Grand Aegon was precisely what brought the shadow of death upon her. Luck and misfortune, nobility and lowliness, weakness and strength. A person's nature is like two sides of a coin. And I've always found beauty in inevitable tragedies.
Okay, so you're one of those writers that always writes tragedy and trauma and depressing ass stories for your protagonists, aren't you? Have you written Spider-Man before?
So Mia has been dead all this time. She didn't leave Septimont when she vanished. The sea took her.
I would assume we knew she was dead, or at least assumed she was dead. Didn't you say something about that being a very long time ago?
I hear cowering prey.
As for fighting.
Glory is upon us! With me!
I smell fear.
I mean, to be fair, these things should be afraid of her. I mean, look at this crap. They're just little plush toy-looking tacit discords. Oh, I have to actually read this. I thought it was going to be a... Anyway. In this damp, forgotten corner, you find a soaked record. The Fraxidus didn't clean up their traces as well as they hoped. The experiment's results were regularly sent to another location, where they were systematically destroyed. The damage is too severe to discern everything, but you manage to piece together that the place is both frigid and technologically advanced. Okay, so like a old computer or something? I was expecting that to be a note, like something to...
You get first dibs.
Ooh, I think I'm fine, right? I don't think there are any things you can miss in these. Wherever I happen to be. I don't know if I'm in a Sonora where I have to come back to it. It doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. It's fine. I don't want to sidetrack myself too much looking for treasure. Because, man, am I a loot goblin sometimes. I mean, I'm still doing the fishing event every week just to get those extra echoes and materials. That's how bad it is.
I hear cowering.
With me! With me! To victory! Together we howl!
That's kind of cool. I kind of like that transition to the next wave. I wonder if they'll add that to Whimpering Waste or whatever. It's a neat effect. It almost makes you think that they were always there or something of that nature.
Glory is upon us!
That's some attack? Is that all?
Into the spotlight!
She is a broad blade user, right? Like, I'm not mistaken. She is a broad blade user. I don't think there's a single attack of hers that actually uses a broad blade.
I'll end you!
On one hand, that's probably a little disappointing. If you wanted her to actually use the broad blade. On the other hand, it's really cool that they've just sort of eschewed the standard of, okay, you only have 5 weapon types, or needing to add a 6th, and just said, you know what, screw it. She uses a spear. Get over it. It's cool.
This place has the Fraxidus written all over it. Without the Silvers keeping the place hidden, they wouldn't have dared. Ugh, the irony. A Septimontian aiding the enemy to build their den in the heart of our city. Even the impregnable Griffon's fortress crumbles from within.
I trust you've seen the experimental unit in the aqueducts. Well, what do you think?
If not for the sword embedded in her chest, I could mistake the corpse for being alive.
Okay. But the sword's probably a dead giveaway. I get that.
Indeed. Decades have passed, yet Mia remains as she was when first pulled from the sea. Her data has been invaluable. As the Threnodian's failed resonator, this specimen is in its own way remarkable.
Yeah, that is interesting. It sounds like that's what Lupa was as well, as a failed attempt at making a resonator. Which I suppose we sort of knew it was doing?
You know, it wasn't so long ago that the rover intervened and Cartathea broke free from that tower. I discovered that a small piece of the Threnodian's essence within Mia was reawakened with the tower's resurgence into our world.
Sounds as though you found new inspiration.
Yes. Septimont will host the Great Aegon soon. I've come up with a rather intriguing idea. Before her death, Mia also attended the tournament. I'll use that as the fictitious anchor to craft a play to rewrite reality itself.
Huh. Interesting.
I've already discussed terms with it and reached a modest agreement.
Discuss terms with what? The Threnodian?
You spoke with the Threnodian. Has Leviathan already awakened?
Yeah, we didn't do a very good job killing that thing, I guess.
Only a fragment of it remains. A weakened, cunning shard, desperate to grow stronger. I'll fashion a story for this sea creature, enabling it to fulfill what it once sought, to have the dark tides swallow Septimont whole.
Wow, you really are just straight up evil, huh?
The Threnodian once sought to use Mia to find Septimont's central hub in order to corrupt the beacon system. Even if met with failure, it would control the champion's mind to infiltrate the city's upper echelons. Oh well, it all failed in the end. In the face of her futility to resist corruption, that girl chose death. She drove a sword into her heart and leapt into the sea before choking on her own blood.
Jesus Christ, okay. Well, sounds like a major badass, despite how much they've shit on her this entire time. God.
Fascinating, isn't it? Faced with the same predicament, strength and weakness still make a difference. The Blessed Maiden single-handedly thwarted the Threnodians' designs in Raguna, but this poor soul had no choice but to take her own life.
Sure, but it sounds like she did exactly the same.
A death so theatrical, so saturated with sorrow. How poetic. How beautifully tragic.
They kind of sounded creepy over there, bud.
I don't care for your taste, Cristoforo.
Thank you. Same.
I'm merely curious. What ending have you penned for Septimont this time?
Oh, such an impatient reader, Frolova. This play is nothing more than an amplifier, designed to nurture the Threnodians' lingering power. Once it grows large enough, I'll overlay the Sonoro onto reality. All that's needed is for Domina Julia to select the right champion. Swapping out the protagonist is hardly a challenge.
Okay, so that whole last sentence, that basically explained what this is. It's a Sonora, so a Sonora sphere that is being created by, I guess, him, the Threnodian fragment that is still in Mia. That's what we're bouncing between? So is the Sonora the version of Septimont with the bustling city full of people that are alive and thriving? Or is it the escape that's been consumed by the dark tide? Don't know. Looks like the protagonist that's swapping is going to be Lupa, though.
Once the sea creature grows within the cradle I forged from the dark tide, the hymn of journeying paradise will spread from Septimont across Renacita. Really, compared to those Septimontians who've long forgotten Mia, the story I've written for her is far more thrilling. Don't you agree?
And what if it fails?
Then so be it. You know, Frolova, stories are but mankind's attempt to imagine and rehearse fate. If this play proves Rover worthy of becoming the protagonist of my story, if they pass their trial by fire, then isn't that a victory as well?
Is this man's end goal? A lot of exposition just dumped there in his very...
Disgusting.
Right?
To treat Septimont like a plaything. Unforgivable. What is so poetic or romantic about a story where someone is driven to death?
That's a very interesting take, to be fair. Stories, even of actual people, tales, and... Okay. Kind of got stuck there. You hear non-fiction stories, right? Of actual human beings that have become colorful and their tragedies have been turned into some sort of poetic tale or some sort of lesson to be learned. These were real people with real lives that lost greatly. These are not playthings for people to find enjoyment out of. But I guess when you're an evil douchebag, that's perfectly fine to do. Yeah, a lot of exposition drop in his flower, can't say that word, in his poetic and weird, monologue there. So I like the exposition drop. It was a little bit, mixed in his...
I hear cowering prey.
With me!
In his expositing about his great plan.
Let's start! Into the spotlight!
I almost feel bad for the stuffed animals here.
smell fear. I hear cowering.
She actually used her sword that time.
With me! Now's the triumph and the spear tip! Together we howl! I'll end you!
I very much enjoy when she kicks the spear at them. That is hilarious and very badass. Yeah, Kuro does a really good job with this game, being very, very cool for a free-to-play gacha game. Ton of fun. Pressing on. We're in the aqueduct now, right? We've gone through the city, and this is the flooded aqueduct or whatever. This is a pretty area. Right. More exposition, I'm sure. Poor woman.
Still lingering, Mia. A fading reverberation that should have dissolved in the deep long ago.
Where are you going?
To claim the title. Was that not your unfulfilled wish?
That was never mine. The arena. I don't need this victory.
But I do. Without a champion and the lion beast, I cannot touch the central hub left by Imperator. You, Cartithia, both my daughters, my very creations. Why this fruitless resistance? Has Septimont ever granted you kindness? They neither love you nor need you. Long have you been forgotten.
We were raised by them. You will never understand.
Proud in battle, and yet yearning for strength. I know the heart of the Septimontians far better than you. Mia, you are simply too afraid to face their true nature. You choose to deceive yourself. You cannot admit that they used you, and then cast you aside. You cannot accept that from the start you were insignificant.
No. If I burn them, my flowers.
Hush, it matters not. Your thoughts are of little consequence.
Wow.
Viburnum. The bloodleaf viburnum of Septimont. Oh. I understand. It's a flower often given to gladiators. A symbol of victory.
Well, this is also a little concerned about my health. Can I heal real quick? Oh my god, I'm actually having to use recovery items. That's... Nope. Never mind. Okay. That's honestly quite the tragic story. I have really not been as... I haven't felt the sort of terror. Terror is not really the right word. Just how bad the Threnodian really is in Renacita before this. They've always been sort of... Oh, thank God, healing. They've always been sort of stuck as being like part of the church over in Raguna. And that just seemed like a manipulation, but nothing too really bad, but very subtle, slower, and connected with Imperator. But now what it's doing to Mia and how it using just a part of its power to manipulate her, it's pretty disgusting. It's a pretty disgusting creature. Very well done as far as making me hate it. Yeah, and it must have done that to many, many individuals. Try to create its resonator. Just like Cardothea's past, which was also quite terrible. Admittedly, she got the locked in jail in a high castle treatment. Not stabbing yourself in the chest treatment.
I've always carried this shame. Shame for something I didn't choose. Shame for something that's just there. Sometimes it turns into doubt. I try to live free, and I do most days. But still, I see it. I see the pain in their faces. In the ones who fall behind, the ones who leave the field beaten, the ones who pin all their hopes on me. I've always wondered if I didn't have this gift, could I have reached this point with clean hands? Should I have judged those who trampled the rules to survive? Or was I blind to my own arrogance? Now, I don't think like that anymore. The warrior is stronger than me, no doubt, but she treats everyone the same. She didn't choose to stand alone. Instead, she chose to trust me. Cardothea spent years trapped by the weight of everyone's expectations. Never stepped foot in Septimont before, but still sailed across the seas to be here. And Mia, her resonance ability might be weak, but she never ran from a fight. She fought till her last breath. A heart isn't shaped by what it's born with or what it's been given. I've underestimated others. And I've underestimated myself, too. But you, the arrogance, thinking you understand the darkness in people's hearts, but you don't have a single drop of life in you! Beautiful as ever. The Griffon's fortress. My city, Septimont. Built by the hands of the people. Not the Sentinel, and not the Threnodian. Where there's light, there's always shadow. But people need light. They'll chase it no matter what. And they'll learn to live with the shadow. Mia, Cartathea, they were born and raised on these islands. They are daughters of Renacita. They belong to no gods but their own.
Better to die than to be a puppet. Death does not scare me.
If divinity takes up arms against the innocent, I will raise my sword against divinity.
I heard your request. But I prefer to handle this my way.
Victory isn't won in an instant. It takes patience and perseverance.
I believe in you. Warrior. By the eternal sun, I will slay you!
From the fear and the longings of civilization, I was wrought. Born of the hearts of countless men and women, of babes and of the aged. With sharp blades and silver tongue, you struggle for power and revel in the slaughter of the arena. From past to present, nothing has changed.
What right do you have to judge the people of Renacita? Mia chose her end with dignity. Your very existence is an insult to her. Look at you cowering in this little incubator, desperate to evade your end. You will never understand what it takes to face the fear of death.
Hey guys, looks like the audio for this part got lost. Everything from here on out. So I'm gonna go ahead and re-record it now. There's not a lot to say at this point because basically I just get my butt kicked by this enemy. Yeah. What, Lady of the Sea, Embers of Glory? Kinda kicks my ass. It's very similar to the Morning Ix? I'm not sure. And that thing, yeah, it's not the most fun in the world to fight. Although, I don't believe this had a grab that could instantly kill you, so that was a plus. In any case, I did not do great here, as you can plainly see. But I did eventually finish the fight. So yeah, we'll keep watching through the rest of this. I'll do the reading of any text from here on out, and then I'll go ahead and do the outro as well, since that all got lost. So I'll be here, talking to no one, as usual.
Caught you now, with me! Lackluster!
Really did just spam attacks at this enemy, didn't I? Didn't have any strategy.
Life is nothing more than a scream between life and death.
And here's where I almost die. Did not do great in a skill-based game, huh? Oh well. Luke is actually a very fun character to play. I just needed to take more time to learn her rotations and how to use her properly.
Into the spotlight! Ryan! At the spear tip! Die, evil! Glory is upon us!
Greatness has no summit, and victory is never the final word. Proud! Pitiful! Cry! Love! Race to the finish! To face death with the crown of glory! By my will! Let this light burn in all its fury! To me, there is no greater joy in this world.
What a shame. Seems the play I've written isn't well received.
What are you two plotting in Renacita?
Oh, dear madam. Let's leave some mystery for the next chapter, shall we?
There is something no one can take from me. All the bruises I have just beneath this is solution to my doubts and deepest fears. Glory's not all about winning, but blazing to be last
Such a cool moment. They really did a fantastic job. Yeah, with the cutscenes and everything. Really cool.
It's real! Both of you are safe.
The Threnodian's frequency is gone. Well done, Lupa.
You found the righteous one and safeguarded Septimont. It's like something out of a knight's tale. No, wait, gladiator's tale?
Oh,
Phew! Finally!
Abby woke up.
Stick my head out. Rover, are you okay?
Kind of? Yeah, we can't explain it either.
Fine, Abby. What happened to you earlier?
Wait, we're already in Septimon?
Oh, yeah.
I was just talking to you, and then boom! It felt like something just covered me. First it messed with my frequency, then I just passed out. Wait, Carthea? And a girl I don't know?
Well, Rover does kind of collect new wives, so... You surprised?
You're lively. Your echo's more boisterous than a Tadar.
And it talks.
What happened while I was out?
Dude, I barely know.
I think it's time we compare notes. Let's fill in this story's blanks, shall we?
All right. I guess we've wrapped up. Changed the, I guess timeline? Does that count? It's a timeline change. It's kind of like reality's collapsed more than anything. Looks like this is just a recap of all of the things that happened. It's actually pretty nice. But I probably won't read through it all. Let's talk to our allies.
When I sensed the Threnodian's power here in Septimont, I immediately set out to find its source. It was quite sudden. I slipped through the smallest of cracks to enter this Sonoro, which severed my contact with the outside world. I found Lupa in the city. She had lost her role.
Oh, right.
We traveled together
Yeah.
for a time and discovered the architects of the destruction, the Fraxidus playwright Christoforo and the Threnodian. Sadly, the playwright did eventually erase Lupa's existence. As for me, I descended into the submerged aqueducts where I found the Threnodian. It had inhabited Mia's remains and was hiding within an experimental unit. Unfortunately, I was unable to eliminate it entirely. It evaded me, slipping into hiding. I reasoned that you would sense the anomaly and come to Septimont, so I sought to offer you my aid.
You just figured that
I
out?
baffled the playwright,
Okay.
and in doing so, stripped him of his ability to control the script. Afterward, he, along with the other Fraxidus overseers, fled from me. With that, the Sonoro began to collapse. It was then that we finally met.
Okay, so everything was running in tandem. Your experiences were not in the past, they were running parallel to
Is
ours.
there anything else you wish to ask, Righteous One?
That's actually very interesting. So we have two parallel stories, two parallel realities, I suppose, running at the same time, where Carthea is, well, she slipped into the Sonora, I guess, where Lupa was, and then at the same time, Rover and Lupa were competing in the gladiatorial championships. And this was all done by that Cristo Franco guy? Cristo whatever? That's an impressive ability, resonance ability. I guess the Threnodian somehow strengthened his ability or something? Because that thing was nasty. Its ability to manipulate was pretty disgusting, to be honest. Everything it did to Mia and Lupa is, well, quite frankly, it's a lot more damaging than the Threnodian we've seen before. Not as, large-scale battle damaging, but to people's lives, it's truly awful. Yeah, very interesting, though, that both of these things happened at the same time. This world is strange. It's particularly strange that things will just happen, and you kind of just have to take it at face value, because you don't really understand the logic or reason of the world. Yeah, two stories, in quotes, can run at the same time. And that's just two different realities, and you just have to go with it because that's just how this world works. Makes for interesting stories, but a little bit hard to follow, too. Still cool. A lot of cool moments. A lot of fun. All right. Let's keep going. Tell me about those roles and stories. Tell me about these roles and stories.
Lupa and I formed a few theories during our investigation, though they may not be entirely accurate. In this scenario, where stories manifest as reality, roles define the identities of those within it. To lose your role is to lose both your name and memory. In truth, Mia has long since passed and does not truly exist here. It was Lupa, not Mia, who won the 3-day Aegon. I suspect the stories created by the playwright cannot stray too far from their original frameworks, a limitation of his resonance ability.
Interesting.
This is why he erased Lupa's name.
His resonance
swapping
ability
her
seems
and
pretty
Mia's identities.
broken.
This
Not much
allowed
limitation there.
Mia to summon the dark tide upon Septimont.
But that's interesting to note that
Is
it
there
was
anything
Lupa
else
who
you wish
was
to
the
ask,
original
Righteous One?
champion of the Aegon. And it was Mia who was put in place. That's strange, though, because that would place everything in the past, wouldn't it? Mia supposedly in the past for Lupa, but it was Lupa who won the Aegon?
Just one.
Strange. Tell me about the Threnodian and the central hub.
The central hub within the Veil of Glory was established by the Sentinel, and it appears no one had ever entered it before. Activating it requires 2 key conditions: victory, which grants the blessing bestowed by the Lioness of Glory through the Sentinel's mandate, and a trace of the Sentinel's frequency.
Okay.
The Threnodian set its sights on Mia for this very reason, which, in turn, brought its attention to Lupa. I struck a significant blow to the Threnodian within the story, but because I failed to prevent the corruption of the central hub earlier, it endured, drawing strength from that source.
Throughout this journey, I often saw the figures of Lupa and Mia overlap.
It seems the Threnodian was attempting to replace Lupa, hoping to use her to corrupt the hub, siphon its power, and ultimately destroy Renacita. Is there
Okay,
anything else you
that
wish
sort
to
of
ask,
makes sense. That
Righteous
at
One?
least gives the reasoning behind wanting to replace Lupa in the reality that Lupa was the winner of the Aegon. So it was Imperator that put the stipulation, I guess, for the central hub. I don't really know what the central hub is. But yeah, so it needed a vessel for itself, which was Mia that it created, I guess, to win the Aegon. So create an alternate reality instead of just have it fight her, I guess. So that it's the winner? And that's how you enter the central hub?
One, Lupa?
Still a little lost here, guys. Tell me about the other Fraxidus
Apart
leaders.
from the playwright, I also encountered 2 other Fraxidus leaders. One, a woman with a bandaged eye. The other, a man with scars across his face.
He's supposed to be in jail. He is supposed to be in jail. What the hell was he doing out? Guess we get to find out how Scar got out of jail.
Surely they must be Frolova and Scar. But how is Scar in Renacita?
Right? Guess we need to ask Jinxi and
Unfortunately,
Sanhua.
I never had the chance to confront either of them directly. I saw them only briefly before they disappeared.
You hit him with a
I'm
sword.
not sure why they've gathered here in Septimont. We must prepare for whatever plans they have.
Yeah, it's still unclear what exactly the Fraxidus is after. They haven't stated any sort of demands or anything like that. They just sort of create havoc wherever they go for some reason. Is their intention to destroy the world with the Dark Tide, or is there some other goal they have in mind? Very odd that we haven't been able to get any information on what exactly their goals are. I mean, the playwright clearly wanted to completely destroy Septimont, so I don't know what their goals could possibly be but killing a bunch of people.
Is there anything else you wish to ask, Righteous One?
That's about it.
The Threnodian's frequency has vanished from Septimont, but I fear this is far from over.
It's still not dead. God damn it.
There is something else. Perhaps due to the dark tide in the Sonoro, I can feel my balance shifting. The Threnodian's pull is growing stronger.
Oh, she's still connected to the Threnodian then.
Now that I think of it, this could very well be part of the Fraxidus's plan.
You need to head to the Black Shores, Cardathia. They've been dealing with the Threnodian for years. You should go there and run some tests. They'll know how to handle what's coming.
Will they? Well, hey, maybe she'll be on the Black Shores. In the Black Shores?
The Black Shores? Is that where you're from?
Sort of.
If it's a place you trust, then I will go.
Also, sort of. We sort of trust them. Yeah, we trust them. All right, yeah, maybe we'll end up seeing Cardathia over in the Black Shores. That would be neat if there's some continuity there. After we leave Renacita. All right, let's go over and see how Lupa's doing.
The event that brought forth the Dark Tide, it must have been my death.
How do you figure that?
After that, the details of the story blur. It repeated so many times. It's hard to remember everything.
Agreed.
All I remember is wandering the desolate city streets in a Septimont corrupted by the Dark Tide, unable to escape, until I met Cardathia.
That kind of sounds like a living hell.
She saved me. But in that story, we couldn't fully resolve the source of the disaster. Then in another story, I encountered you, my fellow warrior. After we parted, I awoke in yet another story, in the Vale of Glory, where I finally saw the Threnodian's true form in the submerged aqueducts. It had taken control of Mia's corpse, and was using the Fraxidus' Sonoro to grow its power. After defeating it, the Sonoro began to collapse. I passed through those crumbling pages to find you. Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back.
That's sort of interesting. So she's claiming that there were 3 parallel stories going on, in fact. The one where the Dark Tide had already consumed not Renacita, but had consumed Septimont. And she met with Cardathia, the one where Rover and her competed in the Aegon, and the one where she fought with Mia to the death in the underground aqueduct. Okay, so they're each a separate story or reality. Interesting. Tell me about your death.
My death. Well, I'll start from the very beginning. My journey to win the championship. I had failed to expose the family's match fixing. After being deceived by Domina Julia and winning the title on my own, my memories became a blur. I was probably under some form of control.
So was that the actual reality?
Was standing in the central hub in the Vale of Glory. pressing my spear into something that resembled a control panel. Then the dark tide began to surge. In the end, all of Septimont was swallowed by it. I'm not sure when all this started, or where the line between the reality I knew and the Sonora world created by the Faxidus began to blur. But in those 3 days of the story where Cartothea didn't rescue me, I would always die on the first day, helplessly watching as my home slowly crumbled to dust.
Oh my god, that is horrifying. Okay. Well, glad that one didn't stick to being reality. Jesus.
Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back.
Tell me about your journey with Cartothea.
Cartothea saved me. The me who had lost her role and her memories. We wandered the abandoned city of Septimon and pieced together that the Fraxidus and the Threnodian were the true architects of the chaos. Yet in the end, my role was claimed by the Threnodian, and my body disappeared before Cartothea's eyes. But before I was lost to oblivion, Cartothea gave me a sliver of her frequency. I think it was that frequency that unknowingly led to our paths crossing in the story.
Oh, okay. That's fair. We did find a frequency of Cartothea's on Lupa early in the story. That was the reason that we decided to, I guess, go with her, follow her, to see if there were more leads to finding Cartothea. So, hey, you know what? It actually worked. Although, interestingly, that happened at the end of that one story where Lupa died, but at the beginning of this story that ultimately is reality, I guess? Now? But Lupa did say that it had repeated at least 3 times prior to that, so maybe it was repeating. The story didn't have a conclusion, so it just kept going. Interesting. Again, it's very odd how this whole reality, parallel realities and reality changing ability of that Fraxis member works. Is there another question? Oh, I have another question.
Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back.
Tell me about Mia and the Threnodian.
Many years ago, Mia cast herself into the sea to escape the Threnodian's control. But Domina Julia recovered her broken body from the depths and handed it over to the Fraxidus. For years, they subjected her remains to twisted experiments until the Threnodian's essence, still lingering within her, finally awakened. The Threnodian took control of Mia's corpse, turning it into a half-human, half-sea creature monstrosity. It formed an alliance with the Fraxidus. The last trace of Mia's reverberation was forced to be part of it, tortured and ravaged.
Jesus, her story is truly awful. She was tortured by the Threnodian for so long. She was one of the potential resonators, I believe is what they said. And my god, what the Threnodian put her through. Ultimately, she ran herself through with a sword and fell into the water.
Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back.
It does sound as though Mia was a person in reality, in the main reality, in the actual reality, I guess, in the past. And they recovered her body to try to, within the Sonora, give her Lupa's place so that she could win the Aegon, to, I guess, also have a frequency of Cartothea? Yeah, so I guess it needed a frequency of Imperators. I don't know if that has to do with Mia herself, or Lupa, or when Rover finally appeared to open the door to the central hub. maybe that was it. Maybe I'm getting a bit confused, and it was the fact that winning the egg on Mia was sort of walking in place of Lupa constantly. She was sort of her shadow the entire time. And then once they accessed the central hub, that's where the plan sort of came to fruition. I guess they needed her body for that? Interesting. Okay, so kind of making the story repeat to cause that? It's still a bit odd, a bit confusing as to how things line up. It might just be me, though. Overall, it makes enough sense that I'm following it. There are just a few elements where I'm like a little bit vague, a little bit where I'm trying to figure out where everything sets into place. In any case, that's about it. Thanks, Lupa.
Oh, the script and the copper mirror you gave me. I'll return them to you now.
Yeah, I'm good.
It was a long story, but the ending turned out well.
A lot better than it could have.
Though, thinking of Mia still upsets me.
Why wouldn't it? It's awful, everything that happened to her. Man. Yeah, reading her story, even just what we get in the normal dialogue is horrendous. That Threnodian absolutely tortured her. Made her go basically insane, but she ultimately fought against it by, well,
Her reverberations.
ending her own life.
Trapped in that monstrous body. I can't imagine her suffering over the last 20 years.
20 years?
When you defeated the Threnodian, you also set her free.
Kind of.
Yes. It was an honor to have that final battle with her. Thanks to you and Cartathea, I was able to rewrite the tragic ending of this story. Thank you, my fellow warrior, for believing in me.
There's one more thing. We should return to the central hub in Septimont. I found something tied to you there.
The central hub. Good timing. There's something I need to handle in the Veil of Glory, too.
Good. Let's set off together.
Okay. Yes, we need to head over to the central hub to see what Cartathea wants us to do, or what more we need to know about. Head through the doorway, I guess. What the hell is the central hub anyways? Look at this place. I mean, it's one of those Sonora, so it's like a pocket dimension or something like that, but is it supposed to tell like location information, or I don't know. It kind of looks like an observatory. Yeah, unsure what it is. It'd be interesting to find out what the central hub actually is for. Maybe the Black Shores will have a better idea than we do.
When Lupa vanished, I destroyed the experimental unit, pursued the Threnodian, and defeated the Lioness of Glory it controlled. Then, I came across this place. You remember how the Threnodian took on a part of the Sentinel's knowledge and permissions, yes?
Yes, kind of.
For the Sentinel, the information stolen was their very memories. For this reason, even the Sentinel forgot that before merging with the Threnodian, they transferred some of their knowledge to the central hub in Septimont.
Okay.
The knowledge they would later forget.
So like a storage device.
It was a secret, one the Threnodian should never learn. The Sentinel moved it there for safekeeping. Within it, I found a special frequency. A part of it felt like yours. I believe it's what the Sentinel left for you, so I took it.
So I accidentally skipped this part, so we'll pause and I'll go ahead and read for the narrator here. You feel a faint frequency of sharp, cold wind. It fades quickly as it touches your hand, but not before it points towards a distant destination in Septimont.
It seems like a clue. The true secret they left for you is not here, but in that direction.
Okay, so it left behind a GPS. All right.
You see, before I came
Could
to
have
meet you, I passed by the city
Given a
of
little more
Septimont.
information there, but sure.
The arena I destroyed has been restored, but in the people's hearts, it's still the Righteous One and Lupa who claimed victory. The Fraxidus' power to reshape reality is deeper than we realized. I'm afraid this is just the beginning.
It's honestly
I
terrifying.
once believed the Threnodians sought to use the Fraxidus to regain power, but its true goal is the central hub. I believe it's due to this secret the Sentinel has hidden.
That direction. It leads to the hunting grounds. The blight cloud still lingers there. When the high tide comes, Septimontians hunt and cull the spawning tacit discords.
The dark tide connects everything. I cannot pinpoint where the Sentinel's message lies. I'm afraid you must go there yourself. But the worst of the storm has passed. Let's take a moment to rest. Lupa, will you be our tour guide? Show us the sights and glories of Septimont? I'd love to hear more about what you mentioned earlier. The wind blowing through golden flags and the sound of wind chimes.
Of course, it would be my honor. But before we go, there's something I need to do first.
Oh, Mia's sword. What's that? Well, it's Mia's sword.
Mia's sword. I went through a lot to bring it back. The monster is gone now. Like so many Septimontian heroes whose bodies were never recovered, I wanted to return her weapon. This is where she gave her life. I can't say if she loved or hated Septimont more. But she once spoke of the bloodleaf viburnum. It's a tribute often given to gladiators by their supporters. So, I think, she would have wanted to rest here.
Griffins call, banners gold, glory haunts.
It's beautiful. Our city. The city of glory. The people here love to drink, laugh, carve statues, and hunt. It burns like fire, drenched in both victory and defeat. It holds all our disappointments and all our hopes.
Eagle's nest where thunder sleeps in the...
All right. That completes patch 2.4. we'll give a quick walk around, see if there's anything to see. Mia's old sword. Stretching out your hand, your fingertips brush against the untarnished steel. A soft, serene voice hums through Mia's blade. She had always hesitated, never at peace, consumed by fear. The fear of both victory and defeat, of the city that both embraced and rejected her. But at the end of the end, she had found contentment beyond the crowd and the cheers. The cold currents had receded, and the sunset was gentle. There was regret, yes, but no remorse. She closed her eyes, the last vestige of her consciousness rising to the surface before disappearing like foam. Interesting imagery there. Well, there's the story of Mia finished as well. All right, so that about wraps up everything we have going on for now in Septimont. We met a few interesting characters through Lupa, and then the Aegon that we competed in. We met Augusta and her... I don't remember what she was called, but Luno? Eno? I don't know. It's an I, not an L, but I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Anyways, so we met a few people, competed in Aegon, got the blessing of an Echo, I guess, the Lioness of Glory, and we foiled the plans of the Fraxidus again, I guess. A very convoluted plan of the Fraxidus and the Threnodian working together, which is seemingly a new one. All right. Very interesting story. A lot of fun. I really, I enjoyed the story. It was really back heavy as far as the content. It felt more like it was building up to something, and you were just kind of given a very day-to-day sort of experience up until the end with Lupa. You're just competing in this Aegon. It's a little bit rushed feeling, sure, but ultimately it's fairly bog standard for like a protagonist story. And then everything went insane. There was a bunch of intrigue petered throughout as the story developed with Mia and that other world where Lupa and the Dark Tide had come through already. But ultimately it all sort of culminated very abruptly at the end, where we got a bunch of info dumping from Franco, something like that, whatever his name is, the playwright.
This is a testament to my connection with the world
there
around
at the
me.
end, before the final fight. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. The animation, the cutscenes and everything were absolutely fantastic. That last one with Lupa fighting Mia was superb. So really love that. Yeah, overall, a really interesting introduction to Septimont. Hopefully we do a bunch more here. We do have some more resonators to get yet from this area. So I guess we'll see what happens in the next part. In 2.5, I guess, will be the next one. This was 2.4. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of fun. All right. Well, that should do it for me. And this playthrough and this amended outro, since the audio was lost somehow. In any case, I do appreciate you watching. It is great to have people watch the content that I'm putting out. So thank you so much. And with that, I have been Respect Sure, and I will see you guys in the next one. We do have some more events that are put together for this. There are a few fun things. The whole thing with the dragons, I forget what they're called now. And then our little, like, walking tour of Septimont. So some of that stuff will be there. Peaks of Prestige. Woo! Yeah. Maybe watch the end of Peaks of Prestige. I don't know how I'm gonna end up cutting all of that together quite yet. But, I swore a lot at Brant. A lot. So maybe if you're interested, go check out why I got so angry at Brant. And how I got my revenge. It was petty. My revenge was petty. In any case, a little more fun to be had with this patch yet. Alright, thanks so much again. Bye. Alright, we're back in Wuthering Waves. I'm Respecture, and we're going to be taking care of... quests, I guess? Additional quests, companion quests, just lots of quests. Basically, we're just clearing out the quest list, since most of the events are finished, and that's about all that's left. Alright. That. Nope. Nope. Let's do the side quest after stories. There's some content there. I don't know, we're just gonna go down the list. I don't care.
More! Pour me another!
Fuck you, Brant. Fuck you. Probably cut that, it's fine.
Try this art form, endorsed by Luke.
What were you eating just now?
Ah. It's all gone now. But I'll ask the tavern keeper if he can prepare something for you later.
Okay, they really set that dialogue for the other option.
The Loris salad was as delightful as ever. Well worth reacquainting myself with, so I can make a bowl myself. Fresh, crisp, sweet.
She's adorable.
Come, sit with me. Let's enjoy a moment of peace.
It seems your sense of taste has returned then.
Yes, and so, I've been thinking about what I vowed to you before. To savor the things I desire, visit the places I long for, and meet those I wish to see. To become a roving knight is my true ambition. A wish list is something to be experienced, one step at a time.
Did she just pull a sword out in the middle of a cafe? You know what? It's a warrior culture. Maybe it's fine.
I'd say your first wish has already been fulfilled.
The third too, though by unexpected means. Those are my adoptive parents and their child. Perhaps it was fate's cruel jest. I couldn't find any trace of them after they moved from Raguna, but here in Septimont, I discovered where they had resettled. Only, they no longer recognize me. The truth that I was their daughter was a memory the Threnodian crafted for them, disappearing when it was sealed away in the tower. I don't know what they went through after that fateful day, but at least they are still alive. They even have their own child. They walk here every day, so I come and sit for a while to watch them from a distance.
Cardathia.
It's all right. In fact, I'm at peace with it now. If they had died because of the Order's heavy hand, I would have felt true pain. But this is the best outcome I could hope for. To live 20 years with the weight of a lost child. I don't want to imagine that kind of torment. Besides, through all these twists of fate, all 3 of my wishes have been fulfilled. Now, if I crave a Laura salad, I can prepare it myself and savor its taste. And I still have many years ahead to see the world and the places I long to visit. As for the people I hope to meet, this unexpected journey led me to find them in another city. The winds of Rinasita always seem to bring me what I seek. I am content.
That was deeply sad. Holy crap. A little bit confused, and I don't remember if I just missed that. I don't know if I just missed that. So, those were the parents that were said to be hers, but they weren't, so they were her adoptive parents, and then forgot about her after the Thenodian died, like she just mentioned. Was she created by the Thenodian?
Back to work.
I know that was mentioned, that the Thenodian had created resonators, but I was more or less under the impression that they had been kidnapping orphans or something like that, right? I'm unclear about how those were her adoptive parents that then forgot about her. So they didn't really have any connection to her. That's a little bit confusing. Kind of irrelevant, I suppose, since they were at one point her parents and they did forget about her, and that is incredibly heartbreaking. Damn, game. Alright. Well, we're going to move on to the next side quest. Okay, I don't love this is called companionship and we're going into a hotel. Maybe I do? Whatever. Opa.
You've come, warrior.
You are drunk as hell.
Are you drinking?
Just wheat juice.
Wheat juice? Okay, so it's moonshine, gotcha.
Sure. Wheat juice.
Ah, today you...
She's sniffing her again.
You smell nice. Like dried wheat. Warm.
God, that's so creepy. Kind of endearing, but super creepy. Do you really have a wolf's sense of smell?
My forte gave me the tail. But it seems my nose is keener than most. Huh.
Interesting. Okay, so she's not part animal. Her forte just grew her a tail.
It's good to have my fellow warrior by my side.
Lupa, you've had enough wheat juice. Sit. Take a break for a moment.
Even though it's over, there's still a heaviness. A drink helps.
So this is either the start of a problem, early stages, hopefully, or a deep-seated one. Might need to keep her off the wheat juice for a bit.
I've sent word to the F4's palace about Domina Julia. But finding the silvers that fled will take time. 4 years ago, Augusta won the title of champion. Since becoming F4, much of the corruption tied to the arena has been cleared. If Mia had lived, perhaps things would have been different. Sometimes I wonder, what would my life have been like if my parents hadn't handed me over to the Silvers when we first came to Septimont? Huh. Just like one of those stories with the different endings.
Have you ever thought about living a different life, Lupa?
No need. I'm content with what I have. For everything gained, something is lost. But through it all, I met you. That's enough. Life is an arena. Victory and defeat are a part of that. No one wins forever. The more victories, the higher the expectation, and the heavier the weight of defeat. Do you fear that one day you might face defeat? You seem to live to meet others' expectations. This is what you're used to, I'd say. Even if one day you meet defeat, remember this. Those you've helped will never let you face it alone. I may not have your strength, but should you call, I will meet you on the battlefield, no matter the distance. I swear it, by the eternal sun. my fellow warrior.
Right. That was, interesting. That was interesting. That was part sad because she was obviously coping with some complex emotions. And part fan service. So, quite the interesting moment. All right. Well, that looks like the end of Lupa's story. Very interesting character. I think she's was done quite well. Not too generic by any means. All right. Sonny about went off the edge. All right. We have some more side quests to do. Serendipity.
We want the berserk beast!
Farewell, the great city of Septimont.
Looking for a place to stay? Maybe
Oh.
Carlos Hotel?
This character that we met for a minute or two. Okay.
Boss! What a coincidence! You're here for the cable car too?
Apparently. Hi, future 4-star.
From up here, the Septimont view is so good! Before I go, I think I'll ride a few more times. Definitely!
You're getting ready to leave?
Yes, my holiday fun in Septimont is already finished. Time to go back.
About the Copper Mirror.
You keep it. No need to return. It's a little token of good fortune for us. What's real or illusion? Hard to say now. Master always said I had bad luck. Easy for me to get into trouble. Guess he was right.
Did you realize you were in a Sonaro at the start?
I had no idea. For a Taoist like me, it felt like, I don't know, some kind of out-of-body thing. I asked for your help because it just felt right. Master always said no need to overthink these things. Bye-bye, boss. You're a very fun person. Who knows? Maybe we'll meet again someday.
Well, that was a thing that happened. Also, her headphones were kind of cool, but did she have, like... Those people vanished. Like a little side ponytail? And then a little hat? Was I wrong? Does she have a little hat? A little round hat on the back of her head. I need to look at her character model again, because... it's a lot of elements. Okay. Well, there was that character. She's, gonna show up again later, I'm assuming. So, that was that side quest.
Time to get back to work.